Daniel chapter number 3, verses number 28 through 30, and chapter number 4, verses number 1 through number 3. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yield their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar the king, unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high God hath wrought through me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. We take a look at the closing verses of chapter number 3, where Nebuchadnezzar is giving praise and accolades to God. And he starts out how God delivers those that trusted in him. And because they trusted in him, he changed the king's words. He changed the king's words. Now, let's take a look at this. If we look at this in the complete Jewish Bible, we can see that we started out verse number 28, and then when we get to verse number 1 of chapter number 4, it actually states that those introductory verses are really the letter that King Nebuchadnezzar sent out for the previous 3. And it logically does flow that way. So that's just something we noted. Now, you're at liberty to take it any way you want to, but we're just suggesting that looks logical, that verses number 4, 1, 2, and 3 are the actual letter that the king sent out to proclaim the promotion of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. He was so thoroughly impressed, and who would not be thoroughly impressed at such a mighty wonder, such a sign, something that was just totally mind-boggling, that the king said, if anyone say anything amiss, don't say anything about this God. Because if you do, I'm going to make your house a dunghill. If you say anything bad about this great God. You see, it took Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah to be put in the furnace for the king to make such a statement like that. The king would not have made that statement. The princes and the nobles and all those that saw this would not have been so thoroughly convinced unless someone had went through a test and a trial like these 3 young men. You know, someone has to go through a test so someone can hear their testimony. You see, a testimony is telling about something that happened. And if you never go through anything, then you don't have any proof that God can deliver, that God can heal, that God can save, that God can work wonders. If he never do it and prove itself in your life. Such it was with these 3 young men. because they stood on the word of God. They even put their lives in jeopardy, and God delivered. God, we bless you. We give you glory. We give you honor, and we give you praise. Thank God.